Hello everybody, this is Alex Steele and you're watching ModShapes, and today I'm going to show you how I made this little Art Deco shelf and designed it in Fusion 360, printed it, and I have several versions installed in places around the house. Now I'm going to just briefly talk to you again about the parameters for a minute. Yeah, if you've been following any of my videos, you'll know how much work I've been putting into parameters. Earlier today, I was looking at this and I said, okay, why, sometimes I have a sketch, and I believe that D must stand for dimension. So the sketch will have values like D 145, D 150, whatever. I just think they make more sense if you name them something that makes sense to you. So part of this organization that I'm planning is just adding, some more detail. And here, again, it's like a variable. There could be multiple ones. I might use this dimension in 4 or 5 different places, but it's going to be called something different every time, like SW inner 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. You cannot use the same name that you used for a user parameter in this case. You only have to use a unique value. So that's what I'm doing here. It may be overkill, but I find it really interesting because when I hover the mouse over something, instead of seeing D1, D2, D3, you see this representation that's a graphical representation, and you see kind of the human name associated with it. Human readable name. Something that you chose. And now I'm going to save this as a new file, and this way my original file is preserved. Save it as a new file, and I know that I can always go back a step. I'm going to go into these parameters, manage them, and make a few changes. The second shelf that I have doesn't need to be as robust because I'm going to put it's just going to be like no resin in it, so it won't be as robust. So I'm going to go into the user parameter and I'm going to change the height of the shelf to something much less. It was set at right around 1 inch before. Let's go about 1/2 inch. Now that I can do that, I will then have to modify the other parameters to go along with it, including the bracket. Brackets have been adjusted, the shelf has been adjusted, but a few small things have to be adjusted on the design. Let me just lift the shelf up a little before I do my combine action, and now you can see that the end result is a perfectly formed shelf which has much smaller dimensions. It will allow me to do a very similar install because the rest of the parameters didn't change, and I'm going to have confidence knowing going forward that this is just right. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you did. Speaking of subscribing, if you like 3D modeling, 3D printing, resin, and other forms of art, please subscribe to my channel. It will help me a lot. I hope you have a wonderful day. It's always the right time to love each other.